in the early 1980s, there was increasing concern over the shortage of affordable housing in the rural areas of Wiltshire, particularly because many of the social rented homes in rural villages were being bought through the recently introduced Right to Buy scheme. There were new houses being built, but they were for market sale, and for those who couldn't make the financial leap from rent to a mortgage, the rental choices were few and expensive. Many were also of poor quality. Most of those new homes being built in rural areas were aimed at executives moving out of the towns, and because of this, land was expensive. There was a chronic shortage of rented housing at affordable levels for those living and working in the rural areas of the county. Agricultural workers who had lived for years in tied housing suddenly found themselves unable to afford to live close to family and friends when they retired. Couples just starting out and young people wanting their independence needed a place to set up home, but they were forced to move away to larger towns, leaving villages starved of both customers and workers for their shops and pubs, tiny rural schools threatened by a shortage of new pupils, and older people deprived of younger relatives to care for them. In 1984, the Community Council for Wiltshire, with the support of the Rural Housing Trust, set up the Wiltshire Rural Housing Association, which was allowed to register with the government's Housing Corporation to bid for money to begin house building. So began 4 decades of steady growth, from the first 4 bungalows built in 1988 to 430 homes in 55 villages across Wiltshire, Swindon and Somerset today, all built through trusted partnerships with regional and national government, developers, contractors and, most importantly, the tenants. In 2015, the association changed its name to White Horse Housing Association when it took on 96 homes in Kilmerston in Somerset and was no longer just a Wiltshire landlord. This anniversary year is an opportunity to look back on 40 years of achievement. From that first modest quartet of bungalows built at Lodge View in Tilshead, to the 10 energy-efficient passive house homes completed at Hook Hollow in Seamed Cleeve this year, White Horse has followed the principles established on its launch to provide comfortable, well-designed homes for people of all ages, in the places they want to live, at a price they can afford, from a landlord that treats them with respect.
In the 30 years that I've been on the board, I've seen the association grow from around 30 houses to over 400, and in that time it really has developed a very good, strong ethos. It really shows that we have the board and the staff very committed to wanting to deliver both high standards of service for all of our residents and also for prospective residents in terms of building new homes. But also there's a strong enthusiasm for really being one of the best organisations. And I'm pleased that we managed to achieve that, not without a struggle at times, but certainly in the early years we had much more generous help from the governments of the day than we do now. And it's a credit to the association that we've managed to get to this stage.
Look at this beautiful scenery. That's one of the reasons why I adore working for White Horse Housing. Trying to bring forward affordable housing for people who live in rural areas like this and can't afford to buy in order to stay here. In recent years, we've been spending a lot of time helping them tackle the cost of living crisis. So we have grants available, which we can help them with food, we can help them with school uniforms, children's shoes, energy bills, all so that they can free up money in order to still pay their rent. And we have a great relationship with our tenants, and what's changed now, 15 years on from when I first started, is that they have a greater say in how the association runs, in our decision making, in our prioritising of what we do. With our new scrutiny panel that's been in operation now for the last couple of years, we go to them for feedback, they look at our policies, they let us know what the priorities of our tenants are. So it's a true working together to make sure that we're delivering a service that is good for them and most importantly, what they actually want.
I've been a tenant for over 20 years now, and it's provided me with a brilliant opportunity. My son went to a local school where he's met plenty of friends. I've also worked not far from where my location was, which provided me with good transport. The people have been wonderful. I've been listened to, and it makes you feel part of a housing association. It makes you feel like it's your house. We've really truly been spoilt, and the community is wonderful as well, so that's a good part of it as well.
I've been a tenant for 7 years this month, and it's really lovely, really lovely. They're very good people. Grounds are kept really nice, the houses are lovely. Yeah, I just like it. They're very approachable. They listen and they act upon any issues that you've got. They act quickly. Any repairs are dealt with really quick. On the whole, yeah, very good.
It's amazing. Cheap rent, well maintained, phone up all problems, and I'm one of the few tenants who goes to the office to make reports, and when I grow vegetables I take them back to the housing association that's grown in their ground. They're small and friendly for a good cause, but we're not a profit driven organisation, we're for the good of the tenant.
It's so important that actually people are allowed to stay in those rural communities, because without having affordable homes people can't live and work there. Villages start to die, schools run out of kids, nobody goes to the local pub or uses the local shop, and slowly but surely they just become a haven for people with lots of money, with very capital rich homes, and there's no life and vitality left in that village. So as we move forward over the next 40 years, it's really, really important that we continue to provide that really excellent personal service that we do to our tenants, that we maintain our existing homes so they're safe and warm and affordable. But of course we continue to develop as well, and we start to reach into those communities where they desperately need new affordable homes to maintain their vitality into the future.
Happy 40th anniversary, White Horse Housing.
Happy 40th anniversary to White Horse Housing Association.
Happy 40th anniversary, White Horse Housing.
Happy anniversary, White Horse Housing Association.
Happy 40th anniversary, White Horse Housing.
Happy anniversary!